advantage of the system and all that kind of stuff, but if you're getting paid to be the best goaltender in the league, you got to play that way. And it's not that I'm necessarily blaming last night's game all on Bob, because the penalties were incredibly dumb too. So they put themselves in a position and gave Tampa the power play where they're unstoppable with that power play. I understand that it's not all on Bob, and I'm not going to be ignorant enough to tell you that it's all on Bob, because that would be unfair. But what I will tell you is I never felt comfortable with the Panthers last night, because there wasn't a large enough lead for me to feel a little bit more comfortable. And if they're trailing by one, or they're tied, or they're leading by one, and Bob's between the pipes, I don't have a lot of hope for it, because it's almost like I'm waiting for the next shoe to fall. That's kind of where I'm at with Bob. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is the real issue now with the Panthers. And, we talked about this, what was it, last week? We talked about this last week where, with Bob, do you trust him? Where you're at with him? And that's why I'll get to the roundtable question. And last week when Q was talking about, that he feels good about the depth at goaltending and all of that, the question I brought up was, it's depth, but do you have anybody exceptional? Right? That's my point. Okay, so you got, two really good goaltenders, two solid goaltenders. You got an up-and-coming kid. But do you have anybody that's great? Bob has been great. He isn't great right now. He hasn't been great, not last year. This year he was better than last year, but he still wasn't great. Dreger had a better season than Bob this year. And Chris wasn't great. So to me, that's what I brought up last week when you're talking about the everybody was talking about the depth at goaltender. And I was the only one going, depth doesn't mean anything. I don't want depth. I don't care about depth. I care about having one unstoppable force between the pipes. That's what I care about. So when it's Martin Brodeur, or it's Patrick Waugh, or Beezer, or Bobrovsky a couple of years ago with Columbus, we've all seen it over the years. We've seen that goalie that gets absolutely hot, and you can't score on the dude. That's what I'm talking about. And the Panthers don't have that. They just don't have that. And that's a major problem right now for the Panthers. Because if you now have to play, and this is the part that I hate, if you have to play musical chairs with your goalies, then you don't have a goalie, dude. You know that whole saying, if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks? If you have two or three goalies, you don't have a goalie. And that's what I was trying to get to last week when people were talking about the depth at goaltender for the Panthers, and I'm like, what does that mean? Do you have two great ones? Okay, then let's brag about depth. Do you have one great one? No. So then who cares about having a couple of good ones? You know what I mean? A couple of good ones is not good enough in the playoffs. A couple of good ones is not going to get you to the Stanley Cup. A couple of good ones will not win the Stanley Cup. Let's get that straight. Let's understand that. A good goalie is not going to win you the Stanley Cup. A solid goalie is not going to win you the Stanley Cup. He has to be exceptional. And that's what Bob has failed to be for 2 years now. And Chris Dreger is not exceptional either. And forget about the kid. You're not going to put him in that kind of position right now. So to me, that's where, and now we get to the roundtable question today, okay? And today on the roundtable, it's a layup that I sent out to the boys today. And in that roundtable, I said, after the Panthers drop Game 1 in the best-of-7 playoff series 5-4, who are you starting in Game 2 between the Pipes, and why Bobrovsky or Dreger? Well, I'm going to go with Chris. I'm going to give Chris a chance, and if Chris can win the game for me and play really well, I'm not going back to Bob until Chris makes me go back to Bob. What you cannot do is play the game of using Bob in one and then Chris in the other, and Bob and Chris, and Bob and Chris. That's not going to fly. It's just not going to fly. Somebody has got to separate themselves. And then you've got to then rally around that person, and so does the team. And let me tell you something. This is where, as they say, the rubber meets the road this season. If neither guy is exceptional, and Chris is going to be a free agent, Bob, you're tied to that contract like an anchor that is just, I mean, the weight of the world, baby, are on it. You're going to go to the kid next year. And you're going to, as Bob Seger would say, you're going to turn the page. And Bob will play on some off nights for the kid. That's it. This BS of starting one guy one night, another guy, and another guy, and another, no, that just doesn't fly, man. And it's a shame because the Panthers can score, dude. I like this team a lot now. It's tough. It doesn't take any crap. It fights back. Before they were tough enough to take a beating, but they weren't tough enough to take a beating and then also deliver one. Now they're tough enough to deliver one, and now they don't take crap from anybody, and they got guys that can score. But they don't have the great goalie. So if the kid is ready next year, it's going to be a really rough moment, man, because Bob will be the most expensive backup for years to come. Really think about it. If Bob doesn't become exceptional in this playoff run, then why would you go back to him in year 3? Right? It's the definition of insanity. When something isn't working, you continue, doing the same thing over and over again. So for me, there's no doubt I go back to Chris Dreger here. I'm not going back to Bob. Guy gave up 5 goals. So Chris has got to get the opportunity to try to be great one night. And if he can, then he keeps the job until something else happens. But you can't play this game with the musical chairs and the goalies. And this is going to lead to Chris leaving in free agency because he's earned that right. And the kid has got to be the guy next year. That's all. Maybe you come back to camp and you say, all right, Bob, here you go, your last chance. And if Bob doesn't come back kicking ass, then he's going to be the most expensive backup. And it's sad, too, man, because the guy was an exceptional player a couple years ago and one of the best goaltenders in the league easily. And yet he gets the money, he moves down to the Sun, and he obviously has lost his edge. And like any athlete, man, there's an edge to what they do. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. By the way, the fans support the teams. They buy the jerseys and tickets, but guess what? They never get the love they deserve on sports radio. OnSideRadio.com changes that with Miami sports music for the fans. It's the show driven by Stephen D., representing Miami sports fans around the world. Tune in every night from 6 to 7 p.m. as Stephen D. and the fans around the world drive the talk about your favorite South Florida sports team. OnSideRadio.com is dedicated to the Miami sports fan.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. First responders are people who stand for a greater purpose. They will be there for you when nobody else is, to help you, your family, your community. This is their selfless promise. This is their sworn duty to protect, to serve, to help. They put themselves in harm's way for us. They come to the rescue at times when we need them most. First responders are making enormous personal sacrifices to keep showing up for us and fighting the good fight. Nearly 70% of all firefighters are volunteers. That means when they get injured or quarantined, they may not have a way to pay their rent or keep their family safe and fed. No matter who you are or where you live, when you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org and make a difference today.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. Take their famous Boot Tour Challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant.
Howdy, stranger.
Didn't this used to be Radio Town?
Yes, sir. It was Miami Sports Radio Town one time.
Who in the hell are these cowboys I never saw?
We don't know who these people are, riding in from other towns. There used to be a host in every one of these saloons, trying to talk about local matters, sports.
That ain't good, stranger. Could you tell me how this happened?
Well, it started when one corporation bought another, and they got rid of the good management and brought in a bunch of bumbling idiots and started firing all the local ranchers and replacing them one by one with these strangers from out of town.
I've heard that story before. Static and tumbleweeds, I'm moving on.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your InterMiami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where InterMiami and all Miami sports fans shop.
You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnSideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. InterMiami fans, time to find out more about your favorite soccer team with OnSideRadio.com's IMCF Football Focus. Here's Austin Robillard.
Home opening spoilers. That's exactly what InterMiami were on Sunday as they took on FC Cincinnati in their first ever game at TQL Stadium in Ohio. Miami scored 2 goals really early in the first half, one courtesy of Breck Shea and one courtesy of Gonzalo Higuain. Later on in the second, FC Cincinnati got back into the game by scoring twice to equalize, but very quickly after the equalizer, Gonzalo Higuain gets down the pitch and after a cross from Lewis Morgan, scores the third to spoil the home opening match for FC Cincinnati. Miami get 3 points and are on to Chicago.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search OnSide Radio.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Yeah, totally different. The year is different. Both teams are different. There's plenty of time to discuss that series. It's just a totally new challenge. We feel grateful that we have this opportunity, to be in the playoffs and to compete against them. They're a great team, and we're ready to get to work this week to prepare.
All right, we'll see what Spo and the boys do against the Bucks. We'll get to that eventually in just a few minutes. Plenty to talk about here on the program. By the way, Panthers back in action tomorrow, taking on Tampa Bay for Game 2. And a must-win, by the way. Must win. Must win. You got to win this game. You go down 0-2 to Tampa, and you are in that crap storm. Okay? John Rouse is asking me, what's going on with crypto? Damn, it's down big time. Yeah, that's part of the game. It's how crypto goes, man. You have your 10, 20, 30% dips. Now, in certain cases, like Ethereum, it's skyrocketed, so it's going to consolidate a little bit. Polygon, skyrocketed, it's got to consolidate a little bit and come down. What's it called? Cardano, skyrocketed, going to consolidate a little bit. The thing that's going on that Bitcoin has had that monster drop, it's because Elon announced that he is not accepting Bitcoin anymore with Tesla. But yet, he's not selling any of his Bitcoin. And the dumbass, and it's funny calling him a dumbass because he's pretty smart, but the dumbass ends up doing that, and then it has this monster dip like Biden did to it also recently, and it'll bounce back again. It'll go to a new high and all that. I'm not worried about it. But if he really was against it, he would have first dumped his Bitcoin, then said that. So that way he would have gotten it at, in the high 50s. And he would have already, obviously made a lot of money because he got his a little earlier. So he would have made a lot of money, and then he can then say, okay, well, I sold it off but he's not doing that. You know what I mean? Elon's been he's been contradicting himself because the other thing is he's also uninformed because gold actually wastes more energy and is worse for the environment in mining gold than it is crypto. It's funny. But he doesn't have all the facts, and then he just goes and he runs his mouth because he needs to sign up. He has to renew his green license with the government, and he's going to go into negotiations with the Biden organization for all of that. With the Biden, group, and so Biden party or whatever the hell you want to call it, and they're very green oriented. So then, well, wait a minute, you're a green company, but you're dealing with Bitcoin, that kind of stuff. And so Bitcoin, by the way, has been cleaning it up. By the next year or two, we will have more miners mining more of the majority here in this country than they do in China, because that's where it's been, and that's where a lot of the dirty energy is being, used in China, not here. Here, a lot of people are using more, are using different sources. So don't worry about it. It's a dip. It'll go back up again. Crypto is not for the weak at heart. I just want to warn you. Any of you out there that get into crypto, you gotta deal with the ups and downs. You cannot panic. You cannot sell. You have to stay strong, and you have to buy the dips. Okay? Buy the dips. Ethereum, low 3,000s. Buy it. Bitcoin, low 40s. Buy it, dude. All of these. Cardano goes down. Buy it. VeChain is way down. It's still consolidating. Buy it. Not a financial advisor. Just a guy that loves crypto. But I'm telling you, these are the moments where you take advantage, and instead of panicking and looking for excuses, it's all going to bounce back as long as you invest in good companies. Okay? If you're investing in bullcrap companies, then you're going to get burned. All right? So that's my crypto tip of the day for you there. So there you go, Alex. Give them the crypto tip of the day. Lisa says, good afternoon, OnSide peeps. What else do we have? R.C. Dunn says, Iowa representing. Yeah. Say hi to Hayden Fry for me. Let's see. What else do we have? Howdy, Big O. Everyone, quick Fins observation on our schedule, week 9 through week 15. We only have one away game. Go Fins. Not worried about it, bro. Don't worry about it. Dolphins will be fine. Dolphins will be in the playoffs. And Lisa says, buy the effing dip. That's it. Lisa's learning. Ethereum will be, I've been telling you conservatively for months, it'll be 5,000 by the end of the year. I think I'm going to fall, but that's kind of what I never want to give you the crazy, ridiculous numbers. Like I believe VeChain easily will be $1 at the end of the year. Maybe it goes over. Just like Ethereum, 5,000. I figured it would go over. Cardano, $5. I've told everybody, probably go over. I usually like to underpromise and over-deliver on some of those things. I don't like going crazy and say, Ethereum's going to hit 100,000. And you see people saying that or writing that, and it's just, don't be ridiculous. It's going to go up quite a bit, but it's not going to be at that point, at least not for the time being, not for several years. But anyway, so there you go. Just stay strong at it, and these really good companies, that's when you want to keep buying. You want to keep buying during the dips. That's what it's all about. All right, 888-441-4623. We got to get Omar Kelly, dude. Let's get a quick break in, and let's get Omar Kelly and talk a little Dolphins next.
Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Sean Stanley hosts the Square Circle Digest.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man.
Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnSideRadio.com. OnSide Radio continues to grow. To make your life easier, you can now find your favorite sports station by downloading the MyTuner Radio app and listen to your favorite OnSideRadio.com host or catch a great InterMiami CF match. Go to your app store, download MyTuner Radio, and search OnSide Radio, the home for the South Florida sports fan.
Hello, InterMiami CF fans. Download the Drink AR app and play inside a first-of-its-kind virtual soccer stadium, hosted by Bodega Trevento and InterMiami CF, and celebrate your passion for soccer from the comfort of your own home. Find the download links on our Instagram account at Treventus and get our wines delivered straight to your home with a discount for all InterMiami CF fans. Discover Trevento, a shared passion.
Brace yourself. You might not hear what you want. You can always expect Omar to keep it real, whether you like it or not. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Sun Sentinel writer Omar Kelly. EJD is your one-stop shop, custom home builder, and general contractor for residential construction. Call them 305-433-4843. Find them on Facebook at EJD Construction. Here's Omar Kelly with your Miami Dolphins report segment.
All right, we back, baby. Time to talk a little Miami Dolphins with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with my man Omar Kelly. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch his exceptional work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. So, was Jalen as fast as you thought he was?
I didn't get to see him in person because we were not allowed to watch rookie camp.
How dare they?
It is. It's opening up soon. So, life is going back to normal for us. So I can't complain. But they've worked very hard to keep us safe. And as I said last year, and I stand by this, I never felt safer anywhere in South Florida as opposed to at the Dolphin Stadium and facility. They went through tremendous amount of precautions to ensure that football kept playing and nobody's life was at risk. And as somebody with a pregnant wife, I greatly appreciate it. So when they come back, they're making sure everybody's vaccinated. I don't even know if you're vaccinated, you get to be at the facility without your mask. I'm still going to keep wearing my mask. We have no idea what this pandemic's going to lead to. So,
by the way, how do they know that you're vaccinated? Maybe you're lying to them.
You have to present your card.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to present your card, and props to them because I'm a big proponent of that. I'm sorry,
I'm with you. I hope concerts and I hope movie theaters and I hope all those places
you
require you to be vaccinated or you can't go inside, dude. I hope sporting events are like that. I hope they have the vaccine police because that way you make a safe environment for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and I'm a big supporter. I know the governor of Florida is not a big proponent of that, but I'm sorry. You should laminate your vaccine card and should be required to present it to buy. Yeah, I'm going to do it too.
No, I did it.
Should have to be presented to buy tickets to group venues, and hell, I would go to a club that. I'm a club guy. I would go to a club that says, okay, present your vaccine card and life resumes to normal for you. I don't want to be in there with people who just want to pretend like they got the vaccine and put everybody else's life at risk.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100% on that. I have no problem with that because I got my vaccine. So now if you have some medical issue that stops you from getting it, I get that. That's the only people I can give a break to. But outside of that, man, no, I'm with you, man. I hope that they get to. I doubt they will. But then again, you know what? I'm starting to think about this. What about lawsuits? Because if somebody picks up the vaccine, if somebody picks up the virus at an event, then they blame the person that holds the event for not having a safe environment, and so you just that could happen. Is all I'm saying.
You're right, but I think when you buy these tickets, just like everything else, you have to sign disclaimers that you're giving your rights away to everything. It's like jumping off a bungee cord or jumping out of a plane. Like, hey, you knew the risk when you did this. We're not held liable, but I'm sure sports will get to that point and big events and concerts. But I've actually seen some concerts. I wouldn't dare to go to one, but I'm a big concert guy. But yeah, I want to get back to life as normal.
Well,
I want to be able to go on a vacation and do all those things that other people are doing now, but doing with risk.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, man, and I'm hoping that we can all get everybody vaccinated and get back to normal. And hell, we're going to start seeing these full. We're going to have a full stadium here at Drive Pink Stadium on the 29th for DC United. So that's that. Now this is an open area, so it's a little different than arenas and places that are closed off, but. It's going to be interesting to start seeing full stadiums. And the sport you cover, they'll be full at the beginning of the year because football will be in the clear zone by September. So? By September, dude. So? By September, you figure we have easily two-thirds of our country vaccinated, right? I would imagine.
No, I don't. I think there's still going to be a lot of I can say it to you, Trumpers out there who just don't believe in vaccination, and even though they're
but that's like 100 million. I would imagine out of the 330 million, I would think somewhere in the 200 million we're going to have like two-thirds, I would imagine. You're right, I'm with you, but I think it'll be around that 100 million. I still think some of the Trumpies will still get the vaccine. Not all the Trumpies, but some of the Trumpies I think will end up getting the vaccine just to be safe.
I don't know. Especially, I was a big non-supporter of the vaccine just because, the testing that they've done on African Americans throughout life. So I was very cautious. But then when I saw my parents get it, and my father retired because of COVID, so it's serious to him. He saw his brothers and sisters die. Cousins, uncles die from COVID, so he wasn't playing around. He retired from his profession. So the people that you love, I didn't want to put them at risk. But when they got the vaccine and they were fine, one day of not feeling great after the second dose, this is just things that happen in society. And hopefully by the time my daughter's walking and talking, this will be a thing in the past, and I won't have to show her how to put on a mask and force her to wear the mask, and she can go to school like a normal kid. So hopefully this is just a blip in our history, and sports carried us through this, which is getting back to sports. I mean, do you remember spending 2 months watching ESPN with no sports?
Yes.
And what that was like, and how we looked at the Michael Jordan documentary, which they pushed up. I mean, that was a highlight of our sports week, and we talked about it for an entire week.
Try doing a 3-hour show daily with no sports to talk sports, okay? And I was doing that daily. It was crazy, dude, during that stretch where we had no sports, and I was basically doing a sports show without sports. It was tough.
It was controversial when the NFL decided to have a draft and actually draft players, and when UFC decided to come back and to Fight Island, and that was controversial. Think about what we've just been through for an entire year. And my thing is, I just don't want to take any steps backwards. So let's get vaccinated, man.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Well, listen, the good thing about the system now in the NFL, we don't have to deal with a lot of holdouts anymore. It's almost, we're at a point.
I hate it though. Let me hold on before you even finish that. That is the epitome of how weak and pathetic the NFL is, that they basically allowed these owners to banish holdouts and prevent players even fighting for any kind of leverage. That was just I wanted them to not sign the CBA just for that reason, because you didn't have to allow this clause.
No, I get what you're saying, but Omar, I gotta be honest. That's their problem, not mine. As a fan, this is what I was saying, and even you as a media member, you don't have to, track down these stories and all that stuff. And as fans,
I don't care about that.
And as fans, but wait a minute, hold on. And as a fan, but as a fan,
it's great.
Yeah, right. you have peace of mind that your guys are going to be there. They're going to play.
Yeah, your fans are always cool with teams exploiting players. Like Dolphins should have cut Bobby McCain 3 months ago. If you knew that was what you were going to do, you should have did it when, this guy has done everything right for you for the last 6 years, and you pull this BS move, cutting him at the last minute. You knew you had in mind what you wanted to do. Okay, so now that you felt like you got the player to replace him, and you can sign Jason McCourty, you just go out and do the man dirty like that, cut him, after the draft, after free agency. And I get it. It's your right. He didn't have a guaranteed contract, but that's exactly what's wrong with this league.
But Omar, that's their problem. They refuse to sacrifice what they need to sacrifice, like baseball players have, like basketball players have, that they have strengthened their players' organizations. Huh?
What do you want? What do you want them to sacrifice?
Well, they're gonna have to hold out for stronger deals.
Okay.
The problem is
hold on,
players.
You wanted them to not play football you did.
Well,
here's the thing, and I hear where you're coming from.
In the end, if you want to actually gain some control, you're going to have to try to really fight them at their own battle. And if you're not willing to stick to your guns because football players only think of the now, well, then you keep giving in to these guys and keep letting them get the better end of the CBA. And that's the problem. Baseball players have incredible amounts of power because they've earned that power over the years from the Curt Flood situation all the way through. And
now nobody cares about their game.
Right. I get all of that, but they are getting their money. They are getting their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But but you can't have one and not do the other. You know what I'm saying? There has to be.
I hear where you're coming from, and as somebody who's a fan, as somebody who you used to be in the locker room, so you didn't have to. You don't no longer have to see the faces of those players. You no longer have to deal with the Jerome Bakers of the world, where this is my job. So I got to deal with the Jerome Bakers of the world, where he finds out this whole team bullcrap that they've been preaching to him for 3 years is garbage when they're not going to take care of you on your fourth year of your deal. And it's a business cycle, but that's the thing. You can't teach to a guy or preach to a guy for 3 years, team, family. Then when it comes time for money, this is a business, bro. Hey, back up. Like you already got a contract. What are you talking about? Get a new contract. Like that's that. And then you watch them do people who do things the right way dirty all the time consistently. It makes it hard for me. I'm never anything team friendly. Like, I'm always about the player because I know what this money means for them, for their family, for their generational wealth, for the sacrifices that they've made. Steve Ross is not sitting here crying and complaining about the money he just flushed down the toilet on Kyle Van Noy and Eric Flowers and Shaq Lawson. They just straight up wasted money last year. Yeah, it got them to 10-6, but they wasted money. But Steve Ross not crying about that money. But here they are crying poor all the time when it comes to compensating players and taking care of players. Bobby McCain was making $6 million, bro.
Yeah.
He could have sat here and been a leader and taught this young player, Javon Holland, how to really play the position, how to read a defense. And they cut him to sign Jason McCourty for less, to do the same thing, which is fine. But, why would you be doing him so dirty like that so late in the game to the draft? The worst
Omar, that happens all over sports, my brother. It's not just football.
Doesn't mean it's no. It does not happen all over sports.
Oh yeah. What happened?
Does not happen.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I got the best example for you, baby. Dwayne Wade produced 3 titles, dude. And when push came to shove, they gave it to Whiteside and shoved him out the door. And so Bobby McCain and Jerome Baker and every Dolphin that's been there for 20 years combined did not do for their team what Dwayne Wade did for that franchise and this town. He won 3 titles, okay? Hundreds of Dolphins have been in that uniform for 20 years, and they haven't won jack. And so when push came to shove, the Godfather is going to make the move and say, hey, I got to do what I got to do. And that's the way it goes.
That's a first class organization.
No, but it's the same kind of stuff you're talking about.
No, it's not the same type of stuff.
They made his ass go to Cleveland and Chicago, dude. They made him go to Cleveland and Chicago.
I'd
I'd rather go to hell and hang out with the devil than go to Cleveland.
Man, Cleveland gets a bad rap, and I hate when people say that. I love Cleveland. I think it's a really good city.
I'm going there for Genesis.
Nice city. I like Cleveland. I'm putting Cleveland in my top 15 NFL cities. Like, the disrespect Cleveland gets, Cleveland's got a great downtown. They got a little poppin' little area for hanging out, clubs, bars. They got good restaurants. The airport isn't whack. The travel from the airport isn't whack. The hotels are nice. You got things to do in the city. It's better than Nashville, and people go to Nashville for weddings. Like the wedding, it's like the bridal shower capital of America, and Nashville sucks.
I got RC in the 305 on the chat board going, preach, Omar, and then the next one he says, doesn't make it right-o, and I go, life isn't about right, dude. We got a radio company in town that's fired everybody to pipe in national crap every day because they don't care about human beings. This happens in all walks of life. There's all kinds of businesses that are cold and callous with their employees. This isn't just a sports thing, dude. This happens all over the place. The good people get fired. So, give me a break.
Point is, don't preach team and family. Nah, it ain't about no team and family. NFL is always a business, and from day one, I remind these young players this. Don't forget, this is a business. They can talk whatever they want to talk to you. They can preach whatever they want to preach to you. But you know what? Brian Flores cares about his contract extension. Chris Greer cares about his contract extension. And you better make sure you care about your contract and your money, too. Like, you sit here
I got no problem with that.
Situations. Yeah, no, and that's my thing. The CBA is horrible. Look at what they did to Juwan James. I don't care that he's been stealing money for the past 2 years.
Yes.
He has guaranteed.
Only Bobrovsky for the Panthers steals more money than Juwan James. Okay.
Nobody forced the Denver Broncos to write that contract. Didn't me and you all say, yeah, man, they overpaid? Didn't we both say they overpaid?
So they overpaid for 2 years, and now they won't pay for the third. It kind of evens out, by the way.
No, they didn't overpay for 2 years.
That's right. The second year he opted out.
$750,000, and basically this is the year they're supposed to honor the contract. His first year he got hurt. You want to blame the man because he got hurt?
Well, he always gets hurt. That's Juwan James. He always gets hurt. That's kind of a law.
Stop it.
It's Juwan James and injuries. It just goes hand in hand. It's like death and taxes.
He had one injured year here in Miami. Get off Juwan James and the injury. Listen, it's wrong for the NFL to release a player with guaranteed money and try to not honor that guaranteed money after he gets hurt training on his own. If that's the case, then every player should never train unless they're at the facility, and they're only forced to be at the facility for 3 weekends.
That's what we're
doing?
Well, that's when when the coach tells you, yo, you're not in shape. Well, dude, I can't work out away from here. I'm not going to get injured. I'm going to hang out on the couch, and I'll work out when I'm here. That's it. You guys close the facility. I can't work.
And then people like you complain about Carlos Dansby showing up 26 pounds overweight, right? Like he did in 2011.
He can't cover tight ends.
Carlos Dansby was a good. Listen, don't disrespect Carlos Dansby. Carlos Dansby was the best.
He can't cover.
The best linebacker the Miami Dolphins have had.
But he still can't cover. Okay, all the other stuff. He was terrific at all the other stuff, but he couldn't cover. He couldn't cover.
Name a better tight end than Carlos Dansby that this franchise has had in the last
tight end? Tight end or linebacker?
No, name a linebacker. Name a linebacker better than Carlos Dansby. I promise you,
Zach
Carlos
Thomas.
Dansby's the top. I said since Carlos Dansby.
Jerome Baker. He wants his money.
Are you kidding? Jerome can't even sniff Carlos Dansby's jockstrap, but I love Jerome.
There you go.
Carlos Dansby was a good player. The problem was
I like Carlos Dansby. The only problem was he can't cover. That's it. But he was a good player.
All right.
You know, it was kind of like Jeremiah Bell in the last couple of years. Yeah, good safety, except he can't cover. It's like, well, wait a minute. That hurts. That part is kind of key.
Like, Dolphins haven't had a linebacker that could cover since Jerome. So Jerome Baker's the first linebacker that could cover. I can't even think of somebody else who can cover.
What was the white dude that Wanstead drafted, like in the 4th round, and he was specifically he drafted like a 4th round linebacker that was specifically made to cover tight ends, and the guy like never played a down or something. It was funny as hell.
Wanstead, hold on, you're making me look this up.
It might have been I think it was Wanstead towards the end of his run. They drafted a
Corey Jenkins.
No.
Eddie Moore. No, that wasn't Eddie Moore.
No. Eddie Moore was good at getting punched out in sports bars. He
no, it wasn't Marlon Greenwood.
No. Marlon Greenwood is blowing up the sidelines. Come on, man. He's a rapper. He's I
like Marlon Greenwood.
What a good dude, bro. What a nice guy.
I was an intern, and you were out there for another radio station, and those were good days. I learned a lot. Tony Boa?
No, it wasn't Tony Boa.
No.
It was another dude, and I want to say like 4th round.
Derek Pope? No, it wasn't Derek Pope.
No, it wasn't Derek Pope.
I named you everybody. I named you everybody that they drafted. Mike Crawford?
Maybe. Yeah, because it was
Brad Jackson. It's like Mike Crawford, Brad Jackson, Brian Jones. These are guys I've never even heard of.
I'm telling you, it was like
I remember Marlon Greenwood. So yeah, that's it, bro.
You might have mentioned him, and I just don't remember the damn name anymore. But I'll look it up and see if I can remember.
Corey Jenkins. It was probably Corey Jenkins.
Was he white?
I don't remember. No, I don't remember.
Because I remember the dude was white, and I think he like got injured.
Your callers will get. Yeah, your callers will tell you. They'll remind you. I remember.
Somebody will chime in with it.
Yeah. Nah. Listen. What we were talking about. My gripe with the man, they didn't have to include the fact that they're going to prevent holdouts. They didn't have to. They could have just said they gave up so much. They gave up a 17 game and got back weed and better pension. Like, come on, man. You gave up a 17 game for weed and better pension, and you gave these teams basically the fact that players cannot hold out. Like, okay, then Aaron Rodgers is just going to retire. I doubt he's going to do it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
He's got the money. He's got the money to retire. He does. He's going to pull. He can pull a Carson Palmer. He can, and the league will look at it and be like, okay, well, he's the face of the NFL. We gotta step in here and try to handle the situation. I don't know how you handle the situation, especially with a team that's owned by the city and community. So it's going to be real interesting. I just don't want to talk about it for the next month like ESPN is doing.
By the way, I just saw the Corey Jenkins dude in 2003 in the 6th round, and right before him was J.R. Tolver, and I remember he had like 128 receptions in 1 year, and everybody was like, "Oh, this was a steal of the draft," and the guy never even saw the light of day with the team. I remember that. Somebody's chiming in with Obafemi Ayabandejo, which, by the way, really good dude, an excellent special teamer, but not the guy that I'm thinking of. I gotta find it.
This is a controversial take, and it will be not go well for you at the end of your interview, but it's a good talking fodder. I make the argument to you that the best, and I know you're a Chris Greer guy. Bill Parcells was the best drafter for this organization, and I include Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy hit on 4 players, 4, and they're all Ring of Honor, 2 belong in the Hall of Fame. But Jimmy hit on 4 players. Name me Jimmy Johnson's best offensive drafted player.
Oh, no, forget that. It was terrible. No. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'll give it to you. If you're asking me, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he scored 15 one-yard touchdowns in one season. I mean, that's pretty impressive. The fact that all your touchdowns are from 1 yard out, and I give Kareem a lot of credit. He was able to, perfect the 1 yard touchdown. So I'm gonna because Wani took Chris Chambers. So Wani actually did better on offense than Jimmy did. But Jimmy did not do. He drafted a running back that we used to call Jarris McFailure because his name was Jarris McPhail, but we called him Jarris McFailure because obviously, Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah,
he was bad.
Jimmy
He was
got
bad
all in
enough.
his feelings. Jimmy got all in his feelings when I discussed this once and gave me a cease and desist through Hyde, which is cool. That Jimmy Johnson acknowledges the fact that he's paying attention to what you're saying. But if you really look at Jimmy Johnson's draft history, it's not good. It's not. It's like it's 4 legends and years of mediocre players.
Yeah. No, you're 1,000% right on that. He was terrible on offense. I mean, absolutely brutal on offense. And then on defense, he hit on those 4 guys. And then the rest is history because he had Tim Bowens was Shula's guy, not his.
Tim Bowens was Shula's guy.
So
Darryl
Tim was
Gardner's a pretty decent pick, yeah.
Yeah, and listen, Lorenzo Bromell was Wanstead. It was actually Jimmy. It was the other guy, Agoulier. Ended up Wanstead getting him. Wanstead picked him at like the 6th or 7th round, and he had blown his knee out. So the kid sat out a whole year and then became a monster after that. And a really good dude, by the way. I really liked him. He was a really nice guy.
Yes, very smart guy. But yeah, I mean, you got a long list of Brian Mannings and Derek. Yatil Greens and Kareem Abdul-Jabbars and Stanley Pritchett's and Jarris McPhailin, Bryce Hunter, and it's such a disaster when you sit here and you look at Jimmy Johnson's offensive draft. The fullback is the best draft. Rob Conrad is the best offensive draft player that Jimmy Johnson drafted.
I found it. I found it. 4th round, 2010. Out of Iowa, A.J. Eads. That's the guy.
That's not Jimmy's. That's
no, it's not. It's not Wanstead. It's later. It's I don't even know who that's. Is that Parcells?
Yes, that was Parcells.
Yeah, that was Parcells.
That was the draft that they
and he's white. I'm looking at him right now. He's white, 6'4", and 4th round. I was right. It was the 4th round.
He was one of the many players that they drafted to replace Channing Crowder, and Channing Crowder arguably was one of the best Dolphins linebackers of that era, and still pretty much stands better than anybody that they've had outside of Carlos Dansby.
That was the guy I remember they drafted. He was like, "Oh yeah, I know he's going to cover tight ends and this and that," and he couldn't cover. He couldn't cover you.
But you know what? That was a pretty good draft. And if we're going to talk about the 2010 draft, I would argue to you, yes, he missed, and he should have picked a lot of more high-profile players. They got Jared Odrick. They got Koamisi. They got John Jerry.
Koamisi was a sack of injuries. He never really panned out. I'm with you with John Jerry. I'm with you, John Jerry, Nolan Carroll, Rashad Jones.
Five starters, one draft.
Yeah, no. He hit on a couple there. There's no doubt. John Jerry, Odrick, Nolan Carroll, Rashad Jones. Those are good picks. Those are good picks, actually.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't last very long for the organization, but they were very good picks. I think that I would argue to you that was his best draft, and Ireland's best draft was 2012. Tannehill, Olivier Verton. I'm not going to mention Jonathan Martin or Michael Agnew, Lamar Miller, and Rashard Matthews, who had a very good career for a 7th-round pick.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what happened to that kid because he kind of disappeared right off the map. Rashad, when he went to Tennessee, he only played for a couple of years and then was gone. It was weird.
Rashad got fed up. I still talk to Rashad. Rashad got fed up with the politics of the NFL, and that was when the kneeling started, and he kneeled because his brother got killed in the military, and he spoke out about that. And the city and the organization just was really hard on him about kneeling, and basically he got pushed out because of that, and then he got blackballed.
Dude, his last 2 years in Tennessee, 945 yards and 9 touchdowns, then 795 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then that next year, he was gone. He only had 11 yards, played 3 games, and was out. It was weird, man, because that kid can play, dude. He had talent, man.
Yes, he does, and he's running a training facility. I think he's beginning to train like young players down here. He trains his son and to be a baseball player. He trains his son in all sports. And I watched his Instagram of him training his son. Man, some of those drills are like next level drills. And I'm like, man, this guy is going to be a really good trainer when he finally gets his facility open. You could really see Rashad. I've always liked Rashad. Rashad was one of those guys.
Hands.
You know the guy.
That's why you love him, because he caught with his hands. You're big on that.
Remember they were supposed to give the job to Devontae Parker. Rashad was like, over my dead body. And Rashad actually, I think he had a 1,000-yard season or something like that. And yeah, Rashad was a tough baller.
For Miami, you mean?
Yeah.
No, it was 662. It was 662 is what he got to.
Oh, he got hurt.
Yeah, he played 11 games only.
1,000.
He would have gone 1,000 that year. Yes, you are correct.
Yes, he played. Yes, he was on pace for 1,000, and then he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But he got his money. He cashed out. And he lives down here. Just as like 40% of the NFL.
Well,
everybody's down here, bro.
I'm a Rashad fan. I really liked him. Oh, as
you should
always,
have him on your show.
Get
him on your show.
Get me his number. I'd love to get him on and talk a little football with him. Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you about.
You got it. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. That's our EJDconstruction.com extended report, because this was an extended one. Let's take a break. Back with more.
Construction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. From additions to home remodeling, call Eric at 305-433-4843. Count on a company that's an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. EJDconstruction.com.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woo-hoo. Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Welcome to OnSideRadio.com. Broadcasting from South Florida to the world. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk.
This is like rock and roll with no music.
Follow us on social media at OnSide Radio.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're live and local.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no. Here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Now streaming online.
OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The OnSide Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it.
The OnSide Zone.
I don't care how you win a championship, dude. You can draft it, you can buy it, you can trade for it. Just win, baby.
The OnSide Zone.
You're not Aladdin rubbing the lamp and then Will Smith comes out and you ask him, hey, fix our dolphin problems. And there he goes. No, I'm sorry. It'd be nice if it was that easy, but it's not.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The OnSide Zone with a big O.
All right.
Adam Duvall with a drive out to left. Is it going to stay fair? Yes, sir. 3-run home run, Adam Duvall, and the Marlins jump on top in the 5th. Now the big guy's biggest swing of the series comes here in the 5th.
Eighth of the year for Adam Duvall. Duval County. So Adam Duvall gets his 8th of the year, a 3-run shot. Miami, unfortunately, lost 2 of 3 to the Dodgers. So that's the sad part. But, I was happy for Pablo yesterday because he needed that win, dude. He's too good of a pitcher not to deserve some victories, you know what I'm saying? So 2 earned runs in 5 innings, 3 Ks, a 3.12 ERA, and at least they get the win today. They're off. Tomorrow they visit the Phillies, and so hopefully the boys can get back on track. We were just watching. I was laughing my ass off because one of the things that pisses me off about baseball is that they don't allow them to have enough fun. Now, on rain delays, that's when baseball is at its best, right? And now it looks like they're starting to let them have a little bit more fun, but still not enough. And they've got to really add color to the game. I always use Jose Lima as an example, and because I want more Jose Lima in the game, dude. I want to let them have fun and eliminate. There's the other thing that I got to tell you, and this is an old man thing, and I hate it as an old man, these unwritten rules. Okay, Alex? Those are the things that piss me off about the game more than anything else. They act like a bunch of stuffy, polo-chasing assholes. You know how you go to the polo grounds and everybody's, with drinking the cup with the pinky up and it's all proper and all this other crap. For baseball, these unwritten rules, dude, I just feel like punching them in the face when they do all this stuff with the unwritten rules, right? I'm sure you hate it too. Young people right? You can't stand those unwritten rules, right?
I mean, like the bat flipping stuff. Yeah, I don't care. Like, you shouldn't be hitting a guy if he bat flips on you. He got the best.
Or
of
if
you.
he hits a home run, that
Right.
you pluck the next guy. Are you kidding me, dude?
Now, if you're stealing and you're up by a lot, yeah, I think you deserve to get like hit in the ribs.
Well, wait a
in the
minute.
back,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are we talking about like Don Mattingly crying like a little bitch that they're down 5-1 and he's worried about them stealing?
No, I feel like if a team's blowing you out like 8-0, 9-0, and you steal on
something
them,
ridiculous.
Yeah, you deserve
because
to.
5-1 is not ridiculous.
No, not at all. Not at all. You're still grand slam. You're still a grand slam. Gets you back in the game.
Yeah.
And so I do deserve that. I'm not saying.
But you remember
injure
that
the guy.
was it last year that Mattingly was doing that, or the year before that it was the year before that he was crying about a 5-1 game and they were still stealing bases, and it's like, dude, it's 5-1. I get it if you're down 10-0 and the game's probably over in the 8th inning, but a 5-1 game is nothing in baseball.
No, it's not much in baseball, especially with all the home runs being hit in today's game. But there are some unwritten rules that still need to be honored. I'm not saying you got to hit a guy in the head. No. I'm just saying in the back or in the side, like somewhere in the lower part of the body. You still send a message, because I still believe in sending a message to the opposing team if they're just doing these type of antics that really don't belong in the game. Like it's kind of like running up to score in basketball. You're up by 30 points. Why are you scoring with a minute left in the game, or with 30 seconds left? Just run the ball out.
I get you there. Yeah.
So
that gets to a point where it's just insulting. I get you there. I got no problem with some of that stuff.
But the funness of the game, no, that shouldn't be punished at all, because then then MLB is punishing themselves for doing so. So.
Yeah.
It's got to find any angle to elevate their game as best and as positive as possible, especially for the younger generation. Because I'm okay with I'm okay watching baseball because I grew up with it. But getting a sports fan that likes football or basketball and just occasionally watches baseball, it's gonna be very hard to convince that person to get into baseball even more with the way the game is going.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm amazed that we have 2 young hosts doing baseball. Okay, because I figured I wanted a baseball show on this station, but I figured I was going to end up settling for an older person. And when I was able to run into 2 young people that passionately love baseball, that was awesome, because I want as many young people exposed to baseball as possible. And other young people have the possibility of maybe getting into it by hearing other young people talk about it, not old farts like me talk about the game. So to me, that's a blessing in disguise that Alex and Chase, or Christian that is, are doing baseball for us every single week here on the show. By the way, nice job again, Solo. So what's going on, bro? Is he ever going to show up again, or what's the deal?
No, he was recovering from the second dose of the vaccine.
I
He
know.
woke up with massive side effects, like the fever and the chills and everything. But he's good to go for this weekend. I already got a thumbs up.
All right, there you go. It's funny how that vaccine affects some people, and then some of us, it doesn't affect us. I only had a little effect from the first one, and nothing serious. It was just I felt a little tired that night, and I went to sleep like an hour earlier than I normally do. That's it. That was the most I felt. Second one did nothing to me. It's weird. Like some of us, it doesn't affect us, and that's the thing about this, man. You can't. That's why science and medicine is something that you're studying for the rest of your life, because it evolves, it changes, and you're constantly learning about it. That's why the experts are still learning themselves, and they're kind of finding out things along the way, and then they educate us about it, man. It is, I'd hate to be a doctor, to be honest with you, because I don't like studying that much. All right, let's get into a couple things that I want to talk about today on the show. Mike Tannenbaum is one of those guys that I'm kind of torn, okay? I like him personally. I'll be completely honest with you. I like him personally. He's always been nice to me. The guy sent me flowers when I was in the hospital, and so I can't say anything really bad about the human being. And now on football side, I can disagree with him a whole bunch, disagree with how he went about building teams and things like that, and some of the decisions he made. And so sometimes when I see him talking football, I can agree or disagree a lot with him on certain things. Here's one where, man, I could not agree more with Mike Tannenbaum, because, we talked about this whole Tim Tebow situation at length, and whatever, you want to give him the break, I get it, he's your guy, this and that. None of us should be surprised that in this world, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. I'm sure it happens in your business. I know it happens in mine because I've witnessed it many, many times. And so it's not something that goes past us. But what Mike brought up, I think, is one of the most valid points about giving Tim Tebow a shot in that Jags locker room, okay? Give me the Mike Tannenbaum sound, because I think Mike Tannenbaum...
It's off to a rocky start, and if Tim Tebow is on the opening day roster, it will eviscerate Urban Meyer's credibility, because decisions in the NFL are based on meritocracy. Bart's a great example. Undrafted free agent, great career because he earned every bit of it. And I'm just telling you, Houston, Indianapolis, and Tennessee are praying that Tim Tebow makes the Jacksonville Jaguars, because if that organization is run based on relationships, they have no chance to win. This is about Trevor Lawrence and doing everything they can to make him successful, not trying to turn a 34-year-old Tim Tebow into a tight end. We all know that backup skill players have to play special teams. There's no way Tim's going to run down and cover kicks. So if he makes this team, it's just going to really hurt Urban's ability to stand up in front of the team and say, hey, how you play matters, because it simply won't. It would be based on a relationship. Yeah, it's off to a rocky start.
He's 1,000% right on that one. 1,000% right. How can you argue that? Now, this goes for the Mets, because when they signed him to a baseball contract, most of us knew he wasn't going to be able to make it to the majors ever. And what did we say early on? Oh, well, they want to sell jerseys and put butts in seats, which Tim Tebow will do that because it's kind of a circus act. It's like watching Michael Jordan play. Michael Jordan was never going to make it to the majors. He wasn't good enough to be a major league player. So he was good enough to play for the Birmingham Barons, buy a bus for them so he can actually cruise in more comfort with everybody else. That's it. But it wasn't – Chicago was doing it, Jerry Reinsdorf because he lost him in basketball, so he got him for his baseball team, and he was making money off of him. Because obviously, whatever minor league park he went to, it was packed. Because it's just a circus act. It's like watching the ape woman and the, three-headed lizard and the midget rhinoceros or whatever it is. And when you go to the carnival and they would have all those freaky things, come inside to the tent and all that kind of stuff, right? Remember when she would break out of her cage and everybody would run out? Anyway, so that's what it was. And that's what Tim Tebow was. The Mets had no credibility whatsoever because we all knew that they were chasing a buck. The Jags, they're in Jacksonville, his hometown. Urban Meyer, his guy. But Mike Tenenbaum's right. There's 50 other guys right now that are unsigned and played in college football this year that are not just better than Tim Tebow, way better than Tim Tebow. Way better blockers, way better special teamers, way better speed, way better hands. But Urban Meyer's in charge. So the dummies that work under him, oh, yeah, Herb, yeah, he looked great. He's young. He looks like he has a 19-year-old body. Oh, he's spry. He's this. What are they going to say? Herb, I know you love the guy, but really? You're going to sign this guy? It's a joke. I can get you this guy from Nevada that went undrafted. This guy from Marshall that went undrafted. This guy at North Dakota State that went undrafted. Here we go. Better, and Herb, I want Tim Tebow. So he's right. Guys in the locker room are going to look at each other and go, yeah, this is about friendship. This isn't about talent. And you can't tell somebody else, well, this guy's playing better than you, and so he's going to make it and you're not, based on the merits. Well, then what's the deal with Tim Tebow? Because he's not better. So I give Mike Tannenbaum all the credit there. He is 1,000% right. Listen, when it comes to credibility and Urban Meyer, that's an oxymoron as it is. Okay? Urban Meyer has zero credibility. Nada, nay. Okay, the only guy that ever gave him some credibility was Tim Tebow. Not the people he hires, not the people he surrounds himself with, not all the players that have been arrested under his watch. None of that. Urban Meyer has never had credibility. He hasn't had credibility in years and years already after the mess at Florida and after the other mess at Ohio State. So let's get that straight. When it comes to credibility and Urban Meyer, that is a freaking oxymoron. They don't go together. It's oil and water. Nice job by you, Mike Tannenbaum. Gotta say. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. The text line, 844-416-8123. Yes, I'm going to do a little bit extra today. I'm not going to 1:30. I'm going to go a little bit more. Hey, I got 2 more days left. I can push it a little bit. I'm going to get my operation on Thursday, get that thing out of my system already so I can fix my vocal cords and move on. So that way I can avoid it. So today, I'm going to push it a little bit. Let's take a break. Back with more.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. You know, air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. With stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
At OnSideRadio.com, we chirp all day and night. It's time to do some more chirping with David Dwork at our Chirping the Cats report.
Say what you want about Game 1, but it sure was entertaining. The Panthers and Lightning kicked off their 7-game opening round Stanley Cup playoff series Sunday night, with the Bolts coming out on top 5-4. Braden Point scored twice during the third period, including the game-winning goal with just 1:14 to go. Nikita Kucherov also had a pair of goals for Tampa in what was his first game since last year's Stanley Cup final. Jonathan Huberdeau led the way for Florida with 3 points, while Sasha Barkov and Owen Tippett each finished with a goal and an assist apiece. Unfortunately for Florida, special teams once again would be their downfall. Tampa converted on 3 of their 4 power play opportunities, while also adding a shorthanded goal to boot. The Panthers will regroup on Monday and hope to avoid falling into an 0-2 hole. Game 2 between the Cats and Bolts will take place Tuesday night at the BB&T Center.
Keep up with the latest on the Florida Panthers by subscribing on most platforms by searching OnSide Radio, your home for South Florida sports. If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dono, you missed.
I think we need to normalize the nickname Dick again. There used to be a lot of dicks. Now, people think about the male anatomy. I don't know why we can't use Dick as a nick. There was something the strong, silent type would have the name Dick. Yeah, sure, it was a nickname for Richard, but Richards now will just go by Rich or Richard. Like, nobody goes by Dick anymore. I think we need to normalize Dick.
Man of the Match with Alex Dono from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Pablo gears up for another 1-2 pitch. And Beatty into right field, a base hit. Betts is around third. Here comes the throw. It's in time, and Wallach got him on the leg.
All righty. Marlins, by the way, back in action tomorrow against the Phillies. See if they can win that series. That would be nice. What do you think, Alex? Can they take 2 of 3 on the road there?
It's going to be tough. They're closing out, an 11-day, 10-game road trip. So maybe, hopefully they don't have any weak legs, a lot of traveling. But, it's a good measuring stick for this team facing the top team in the division right now.
Yeah, and they will have that group of pitchers tomorrow, right? Not a regular starter, right?
Right. They're looking at Cody Poteet again, making the start on Tuesday.
Poteet!
Yeah, he made a great debut in Arizona, going 5 strong in front of his family, striking out 6. First Marlins pitcher to strike out 6 and not allow a walk in his major league debut.
Yep. RC in the 305 says, I'd take him right now and would fix my U. Yeah, I also told him arrest will go up in Gables. You want to bring Urban Meyer to Gables? I'm just telling you. The crime rate is going to go up in Coral Gables if Urban Meyer comes to your school. That's all. Just, Tony says, why would anyone in college want Urban Meyer? He's only there temporarily. When he faces some adversity, he's out. Yeah, and then he'll BS you. Oh, it's my heart, and this and that. And then a year later, he's at Ohio State. I mean, really, again, credibility, 0 with that guy. 0. Okay? Oh, man. All right, 888-441-4623 if you want to get in on the program. Many ways to hang out with us. The text line, 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Don't forget to follow our station on Twitter at OnSide Radio and on Instagram at OnSide Radio and Facebook at OnSide Radio. Don't forget that every Thursday from 7 to 9 you can catch Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. It's the show dedicated to combat sports, from UFC to boxing to bare-knuckle brawling. Alex and James provide combat sports fans the insight and interviews they crave. Tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. for Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. Search and subscribe to the podcast by searching Fight Night on the home for combat sports, OnSideRadio.com. So make sure you tune in to the boys. I was actually hanging out with Dono on Saturday. We were over at BYB Extreme over at the youth fair. I forgot the name of the expo that's there. And it was fun, man. We had a lot of fun. They got some characters. I got to bring some of those guys on our show because that was entertaining, okay? Nobody wearing a mask, by the way. I didn't mind, dude. I'm fully vaccinated. Dono and I were sitting at a table pretty much by ourselves, and he's fully vaccinated, so it didn't matter. It wasn't like people were on top of each other. They were kind of spaced out, so it wasn't. It was safe overall. I got to admit. So I wasn't really worried whatsoever. Did you guys catch Mike Breen? So Mike Breen is calling the Knicks-Celtics game, right? And as you all know, Celtics sat like half their team or something, like 7 guys. And so Taco Fall is one of their young guys, one of their rookies. He didn't really play much this year. They didn't need him. But he did play in yesterday's game. And so Breen, in the play-by-play, well, I guess had a little bit of a food slip, I guess. Go ahead, play it, Alex.
Well, keeps it alive, but right to Taco Bell. Here comes Parker. Did I just say Taco Bell? Oh, my goodness. You must be hungry, bro.
That's awesome right there. He called Taco Fall Taco Bell. I love that, man. That was good. Listen, when you do radio or TV or whatever that you're talking for hours, it's the inevitable. You're going to say something that is kind of what you were trying to say, but it went in another direction, and you didn't mean to do it. It's one of those Freudian slips, as they say. And so I guess a food slip in his case. So I guess he was hungry and thinking some tacos, and he called them Taco Bell instead of Taco Fall. So, you can understand that. You know what I mean? And any of us that have done this for a long, long time, we get it, because sometimes you're talking and your brain may make you go in another direction because you kind of lose your train of thought. You lose focus a little bit, those kind of things. And then something else is said that you really didn't want to say. Yeah, sometimes it's really bad, and those kind of people, that's different. But when it's a normal thing like what Mike Breen was going through, you'll say something silly. You'll call somebody a name that, you'll say their name, but not that you're calling them names, but you're calling them by another name that is associated with the current name that they have, and you're just like, well, wait a minute, I called him this, but he's not this guy, he's that guy, and, that kind of stuff. So I can completely understand and relate to Mike Breen, because I've done it myself, where I'm talking about things and I may say something else, and maybe I didn't even catch it. It'll be later on that Alex or Tito or Brandon or Bill or any of my producers in the past will say, hey, you realize you said this? I did? Or you guys will correct me also on the text machine or on Twitter, because people love to correct the host. They are big on correcting the host. Hey, you mispronounced this. Hey, you said this wrong. Hey, it was on Tuesday, not on Wednesday. Hey, it's at 9:30, not at 7:30, the game. Hey, no, they're off tonight. It's tomorrow, not tonight. People love doing that. I mean, they enjoy the crap out of it, okay? But I can definitely relate to Mike Breen and calling Taco Fall Taco Bell. That I can do. The other thing in basketball that happened was the Nets. They've got the number 1 seed in the East. They are getting ready for the playoffs. Obviously, they got to wait for all the play-in games to happen, so they'll have a week off like all the teams that are in the top 6, and they're not in 7 through 10 in the play-in round, so they're all going to get about a week off, and then they'll get started. So Kyrie Irving was asked about, opening up the playoffs, and he kind of ended up going in another tangent. Go ahead, play Kyrie Irving.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. A lot of stuff is going on in this world, and basketball is just not the most important thing to me right now. There's a lot of stuff going on overseas. All my people are still in bondage all across the world, and there's a lot of dehumanization going on. So, I apologize if I'm not going to be focused on y'all questions. It's just too much going on in the world for me to just be talking about basketball. Like, I focus on this 24/7 most of the time, but it's just too much going on in this world not to address. It's sad to see this going on. And it's not just in Palestine. It's not just in Israel. It's all over the world, man. And I feel it. I'm very compassionate to all races, all cultures, and to see a lot of different people being discriminated from upon or against, being discriminated against based on their religion, color of their skin, what they believe in. It's just sad. We all say we're human beings and we care and we're compassionate, but what are you doing to help? And being in this gym, I'm grateful for opportunity. It's a blessing, but my goal out here, my purpose is to help humanity, and I can't sit here and not address that. I don't care which way you stand on either side. If you're a human being, then you would support, the anti-war effort that's going on. There's a lot of people losing their lives, children, a lot of babies, and that's just what I'm focused on. So if you guys want to ask me questions about the game, I really don't care about it, but except just everybody leaving out of the game healthy and being able to go home to their families.
Now, listen, at the heart and soul of it, I get what he's talking about, and we all feel for it. But on the flip side, I kind of laugh at all of this. Seriously. You got to learn to compartmentalize, man. That's part of being a mature adult. There's going to be crap going on all over the world on a consistent basis. It's been going on for thousands of years. Okay? What's going on in the Middle East, we're never going to stop it. I've always been against us getting in the middle of all of that. Like we're going to stop the stuff that's gone on in Iraq and Iran, whatever, forever. No, we're not. And when we pull out our troops like they're going to eventually do, they'll go back to doing what they've done for thousands of years. This is a religious war that's been going on forever. Kids have been starving forever. There's all kinds of atrocities that have gone on forever. And we can't do anything about it. We could try to stop it, but we haven't been able to. We have natural disasters that happen all the time, all over the world, from landslides to tornadoes and typhoons and earthquakes and you name it, man. It happens all the time. So this is where I kind of roll my eyes to Kyrie, and I understand you want to help. There's plenty of time to help. But if you can't do your job and this affects your job, I find that to be kind of weak. And Kyrie, who has done some really good things, by the way, and bless you for that, the reason you've been able to do those things, it's because basketball pays for it. You wouldn't be able to donate all those thousands of dollars like you have to different organizations if you didn't have basketball. LeBron James does a lot of good, but he powers it through basketball and all his other endeavors. There's a lot of players that do, whether it's Russell Wilson, you name it, there are a lot of players that do a lot of good things. But they can compartmentalize and they can focus on, we all know what's going on around the world, most of us at least, to keep up with it. And it breaks our hearts. It breaks our hearts to see kids starving. It breaks our hearts to see what's going on in Israel and the Gaza Strip and everything else, and buildings going down left and right and people dying. I get all of that. But you just can't stop your life and sit there and worry and wonder about all of this when we have no control over it. Because nobody can get in the middle of that religious war. And until our friends in Israel and the Palestinians are able to become friends and try to figure it out, which they haven't been able to do it for a long, long time, what are we going to do? So you should be focused on what you have to do now. You should be able to answer all the questions. You're going to have an off season. Go ahead, knock yourself out during the off season, man. Go out there and do as much good as you want. God bless you for it. But please don't tell me that I can't focus and basketball isn't that important. Well, basketball is your livelihood. And if you want more power and more influence to do what you want to do, well, then power it through basketball. Shaq does an endless amount of good. Endless, dude. He's constantly doing good things for all kinds of people. But he doesn't go crying on the air about it. He'll go on TNT, crack some jokes, go back and forth with Charles Barkley, pitch for Papa John's and pitch for Icy Hot and pitch for all this stuff that he's got to do. And then the power that he gets from all that money and all that influence, he then turns it to good. And Shaq is constantly, dude, all the time doing good stuff for human beings. But he's a professional. He's a mature adult that can compartmentalize. So I get what I get where you're coming from, Kyrie, but come on, man. It's not that bad that you can't focus on what you have to do. You could focus on what you have to do and then go and try to help as many people as possible. Because there's a lot of people that have power and they help others, but they focus on what they have to do. So, yes, basketball should be the most important thing professionally in your life right now. And you should be giving to your all to your team. Because what you're telling your teammates is that, I'm not completely here with you guys. Yeah, I'm here and I'm playing, but I'm not totally into it. Well, that doesn't fly. Jimmy Butler doesn't play the game that way. Michael Jordan didn't play the game that way. Tim Hardaway didn't play the game that way. Steph Curry doesn't play the game that way. They give their all, and they're focused on what they have to do. And then, after that, Steph Curry does a lot of good things. But he doesn't mix it up because he doesn't have to. He doesn't let it get in his way because he doesn't have to. But it seems like Kyrie is weak-minded to the point that he allows it to affect what he does professionally. Look, man, they kidnapped your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, and you can't play basketball? Totally understand. Your mom is sick? Totally understand. Like the Higuain brothers that we have here. Mom was on a deathbed. They had to fly back to go see her in Argentina and say goodbye to her because she passed away. That's understandable. So these kind of things are understandable when they affect what you're doing. But a war that's going on thousands of miles away, things that are going on in another continent should not be affecting what you do right now. And if they do, then you lack a ton of professionalism. And I have to say that about Kyrie Irving. As talented as he is, he lacks a ton of professionalism. That's all I can tell you. This Saturday, folks, join us. InterMiami CF fans, join us for every road game as we broadcast live from Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano. Join me and Alex Dono. Enjoy the delicious food and incredible house drafts and giveaways. InterMiami CF fans, your new home for every road game is Dangerous Minds Brewing Company in Pompano. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and on Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Download the Radio.net app and listen to OnSide Radio in every InterMiami CF game. OnSideRadio.com, your home for InterMiami soccer.
Howdy, stranger.
Didn't this used to be Radio Town?
Yes, sir. It was Miami Sports Radio Town one time.
Who in the hell are these cowboys I never saw?
We don't know who these people are, riding in from other towns. There used to be a host in every one of these saloons, trying to talk about local matters, sports.
That ain't good, stranger. Could you tell me how this happened?
Well, it started when one corporation bought another, and they got rid of the good management and brought in a bunch of bumbling idiots and started firing all the local ranchers and replacing them one by one with these strangers from out of town.
I've heard that story before. Static and tumbleweeds, I'm moving on.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com. Listen to every InterMiami CF match on your home for La Rosa Negra. OnSideRadio.com. Catch us every day on the MyTuner Radio app.
Floridians must prepare for sweltering heat, summer rainy seasons, and aggressive nature. And of course, hurricane season. That's why when it comes to protection, make sure your roof is prepared for the same brutal weather by calling Chase Roofing and Contracting. Open 24/7. Call them today. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, and even Orlando. Go to chaseroofing.com. Chaseroofing.com provides roof inspections for both residential and commercial roofs. Get a free no-obligation roof evaluation. Trust chaseroofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
InterMiami beat FC Cincinnati 3-2, getting a brace from Gonzalo Higuain and a goal from Breck Shea. InterMiami's next match is away at Chicago Fire FC Saturday night at 6 p.m. The Florida Panthers lose Game 1 of their NHL playoff series to the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-4. Jonathan Huberdeau had a goal and 2 assists, but Braden Point had 2 late goals, the last to winner with 1:14 left in the game. Game 2 tomorrow night with puck dropping at 8 p.m. The Miami Heat beat the Detroit Pistons yesterday 120-107. Precious Achiuwa scored a career-high 23 points and Max Strus added 20 for the Heat. They will end up with the 6th seed and start the playoffs against the Milwaukee Bucks, who beat the Heat on Saturday night 122-108. The Marlins lost 2 of 3 over the weekend after a 3-2 win yesterday. Not a bad day at the office for Adam Duvall as he hit a 3-run homer and threw out Mookie Betts at home plate. The Marlins are 18-22 on the year. They start a series with the Philadelphia Phillies Tuesday. You're listening to South Florida's only locally owned sports talk station. Coming up is more of the OnSide Zone with the Big O right here at OnSideRadio.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodiasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodiasDental.com.
Alex Dono coming your way in about an hour at 3 o'clock. He will join you. Don't forget, folks, tonight we got a new show. And fans, you know, they support the teams. They buy the jerseys and the tickets, but they never get the love they deserve on sports radio. OnSideRadio.com changes that with Miami sports music for the fans. It's the show driven by Stephen D., representing Miami sports fans around the world. Tune in every night from 6 to 7 p.m. as Stephen D. and fans around the world drive the talk about your favorite sports, South Florida sports team. OnSideRadio.com, dedicated to the Miami sports fan. So we're doing something a little different. It's a fan-driven type show, so it should be interesting. And Steven's going to be talking to a lot of fans that are kind of they're big in their own way, pretty much in the fan community. You know, that kind of stuff. So I like that. Hey, listen, man, sports radio is changing and evolving. And from podcasts to blogs to vlogs to all kinds of things, it's kind of changed the way sports are covered. And so we're watching all of that, and it's not just media, but fan-driven websites have grown too. And those folks never get a say in all of this. So I figured we'd try to put something together. I tried to do something on the soccer side. It just kind of fell apart, unfortunately, and they couldn't really maintain it. So I'm hoping Steven's got some radio experience also, so that's a good thing. And I love the concept. On my podcast, every Friday I would have a Dolphin president from around the world joining us for a segment to talk a little bit. So because I've always been the guy that connects with listeners and fans and those kind of things. So I want to make sure that our station is able to do that. And again, I think it's something that we're going to do to evolve a little bit. You know, just like we talk soccer, we're going to talk a lot of gambling on these shows. We're going to add a lot of MMA and UFC, all these kind of things. We're not just going to talk Dolphins, Canes, and Heat. Okay, because that's what our program directors, especially Alex and I, the people we've worked for many years, it's no, just talk the three things that get them. I don't do that, man, because there's no way in those stations they would have a Marlins show, and the Marlins show that they have or a Panther show that they have, they're contractually obligated to have those shows because the team insists on having those shows. It's not because 940 doesn't have a Marlins show out of the goodness of their heart. No, it's because the Marlins demanded part of their partnership. The QAM would never have a Panther show on their own. It's because the Panthers have demanded it, and it's part of the contract. That's it. So they're driven by the clubs. Not here. We're not doing that. We're not going to have any show driven by any club. Okay? We're driving the shows because I want people like Alex and like Christian Chase that are passionate about baseball, and they can talk baseball, and they love the Marlins, and they love baseball. That's what I want on the air. Sean Stanley loves wrestling. I don't care about wrestling. I could give two rats' ass about wrestling, but I understand there's a lot of people that love wrestling. So why not provide a show that wrestling fans are going to love? Sean does an awesome job. I don't like wrestling, and I can listen to Sean talk wrestling because I love his passion for it. You know, same thing, Austin Robillard. They're not going to do a soccer show. We are. Not driven by InterMiami. It's driven by us. I don't need InterMiami to drive a soccer show or force me to do a soccer show. I don't need the Marlins to force me to have a baseball show or the Panthers to have a hockey show. No, man. We got to take care of everybody. You know? Toast wants to do more Formula One. Unheard of. But I don't mind. I don't mind if he dedicates a segment to Formula One. There's got to be people out there that love Formula One. Plus, we're going to get our own race here. It's pretty cool. I'm going to go to that Formula One race. That's for damn sure. I got to see that. I've never seen that in person. I'm intrigued by it. I want to experience it. Don't you want to, I don't know, what kind of a racing fan are you? Do you like racing at all, Alex?
Not at all.
Would you at least, are you intrigued at going to the Formula One race?
Sure, yeah. I'll listen.
Right? Okay, so
Yeah.
there you go. See? So, that's kind of what we're doing. So I encourage those of you to listen on at 6 o'clock tonight, right after Alex Dono, to the new show, and we'll have some fun. It is called, let me get it right, Miami Sports Music for the Fans. And it's kind of a play on words. It's not music. It's Miami sports music. In other words, it's kind of like the tune that most fans want to hear. They want to hear about their own teams. That's kind of what they're doing. So, good job there by Steven. And I think it's going to be a fun show. I'm excited for them. I really am. All right, so now we are going to wrap it up here on the show. We will see you guys tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday and Friday I will be off because I will have surgery, but I'll post something on social media and tell you all I'm fine. I don't know. I got to wait to see what the doctor tells me and how long I'm going to be out, how many days or a week or two before I can actually get back. Who knows? I may have to get back in the saddle on a slow basis. Maybe he only wants me to do an hour a day, an hour and a half or something like what I've been doing now and taking care of my voice. Today I went a little longer. I went 2 hours. Don't tell him. Don't call my doctor. Don't rat on me. Okay? Please, don't rat on me. So he told me 90 minutes. So, I got to follow doctor. But I figure, cheat a little bit here and there. We'll be all right. Alex, excellent work by you. We thank Omar Kelly. If you missed the Omar Kelly interview or anything else, it all gets podcasted. It all gets sliced and diced like a Ginsu knife, and you will enjoy it. Thank you all. Stay tuned. We'll have a little bit more of a replay for the next hour, and then Alex Dono will take over and dominate the airwaves till 6 o'clock. And then at 6 o'clock, it's Stephen D. and the boys and Miami Sports Music for the Fans. We'll see you tomorrow. Be good out there. Thank you.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. If you missed NBA insider Ira Winderman and the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report, you missed this.
And he said, if you're going to look at my stats, I probably don't measure up. You have to watch